All right, Dad. So last week we talked Trent Williams. This happened right before we did our show. He wants an extension, and if not that, he'd like to get released. Niners haven't done anything yet. The Texans just traded for David Montgomery, a running back the Niners could have used. They're being very aggressive. They see themselves as potentially the next Seahawks. The one thing they don't have in their team is offensive linemen. Should the Niners trade Trent Williams to Houston?
Hold on. What would they get for Trent Williams?
Jeez. I think you could get a second-round pick for Trent Williams. Even though he's old. I don't know if you could get a first-round pick for him. I think you get a second-round pick for Trent Williams. He's pretty good.
A second-round pick in this draft.
Yeah.
As a matter of principle, I would like Trent Williams not to be on the team anymore.
So you could cut him and save $25 million in cap space, but then you'd have to go get another offensive tackle, which would cost money. Or you could trade him. We'd only create about $4 million in cap space, but you could get a pick, which you could use on a player who's on a rookie deal and cost effective, and you could replace him that way. I would be open to trading him.
I would as well. It seems to me, the way you've explained it to me and I understand it, he holds the team hostage every couple of years.
Yes.
My attitude is, again, we're the 49ers. You don't do that to us. They've allowed themselves to be victims.
Correct.
They have to choose to say, we're not victims anymore. We're not going to let these guys do this to us anymore. We're going to find another left tackle because he's not as good as he used to be anyway. And we don't want to pay you that money. Him, I would trade. I would trade to Houston. What I would want would be maybe a second round draft choice and maybe a player, maybe an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
I would like that.
Like get a starter back. That works.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah.
Again,
now I think that's the weakest part of their team. You may not get an offensive lineman back, but you could get a defensive player back. They have a great defense.
Yeah, I would like that. I know, and a lot of people watching probably think, "Oh, you can't get rid of Trent Williams." And boy, do I understand that he's the only really good player on that offensive line. When I say really good, elite, but I don't know that he's elite anymore. But he's still the best. I want them to move forward and get younger, healthier, stronger players.
If they could do nothing and just let him play out the final year of his contract this year, that'd be fine. But it doesn't seem like he's going to let him do that. It seems like he's trying to put him in a position where it's either give him an extension or let him leave. And if those are your only two options, I would trade him. I would not give the 38-year-old offensive tackle another extension to keep him on the team until he's 40. No, thank you. No.
Iggy, is he signed through the current season?
Yes, that's the last one.
The last one. And he's saying, I feel iffy about playing this coming season unless I get an extension. Is he saying things like that, or he wants guaranteed
I don't know what he's
cash?
telling him privately, but last time he wanted an extension, he held out until week 1. He didn't do anything in the offseason. They finally gave him the extension.
When did he become like that?
I know. Well, what I want to tell you is, in comparison, look at the Lions. Yesterday, it was reported that David Montgomery was unhappy with his role on the team and that he wanted out. Then he tweeted something like, "Oh, did you hear this from me?" Like, I'll almost kind of walk it back. The next day, he was freaking gone. And now he's in Houston. And I respect Houston for getting him, but I also respect Detroit for trading him. Excuse me? You don't want to be on our team anymore? Guess what? You're not on our team anymore. We're not going to beg you to stay. We're not going to change your mind. We're not going to try to appease you. As soon as you say you're out, you're out. And I feel like that's what the Niners were like once upon a time. It's what the Rams are like these days. Why are you clinging on to these players who want to go? If he wants to go, pack his bags for him and show everyone else on the team that you did that, so they think twice before trying to hold you hostage.
I totally agree, Iggy. You know, there's a story when Vince Lombardi was running the Packers, and I don't remember who the player was. You've heard this story, I think, from Tom. player came into it was before they had agents and stuff. Said he wanted a new contract, and Lombardi said, "Just a minute, I'll be back in a minute." And he went out of the room for a few minutes, and he came back and he said, "We just traded you." That's a true
That's
story.
so funny.
Said, "You want a new deal?
Really
You
good to
got
know.
a new
Oh, you
deal
want more
with
money?
within
It's great to know.
yeah, get it at the other team because we just traded you."
That's pretty much what the Lions just did to David Montgomery. And I think it worked on so many levels. But it feels like it was a message to the rest of the players in the team. Anyone else not want to be here? Raise your hand. Who else is unhappy on the Detroit Lions? Because we would love to send you somewhere else.
Yeah.
I like that.
And Bill Walsh would have sent him somewhere else. You're not happy here? Fine. We'll send you to Buffalo. See how you deal with the winter there.
Yeah. But as we know, there's like 7 people in this organization that they're clinging to until they retire, because God forbid they finish their career somewhere else. Joe Montana could finish his career somewhere else, but not the fullback and the left tackle.
Iggy, let's say some 49ers who finished elsewhere, okay? Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott, Roger Craig, Jerry Rice. I mean, these are
Frank Gore.
Well, the 4 I mentioned at first were Hall of Fame players. Hall of Fame players. And
Frank
again,
Gore's up there.
Yeah. I want to remind everybody that the greatest athlete ball player ever in the Bay Area, Willie Mays, finished with the Mets.
That's right.
Not with the Giants. Willie McCovey finished in San Diego. So there's precedent for this. They hold on, and I'm going to call it Jed. Hold on for dear life. He's like someone who's out too deep in the ocean, and he feels he's drowning, and he grabs onto whatever person he can coming out to help him.
Yeah. And, the Warriors are doing the same thing. And we're going to talk about the Warriors at the end of the show. Later. But it's interesting how in the Bay Area you have 2 of the 3 major teams basically turning themselves into freaking museums. I mean, you know what I mean? Like the Warriors and the Niners have their eyes on the past for the most part, where the Sharks and maybe the Giants are looking to the future. I don't know.
The Niners have looked to the past on offense. On defense, they actually are a different team.
That's true.
I think they're doing it right on defense. I do.
Yeah.
I don't know how good the coordinator is, but I think they're doing it right on defense. But on offense, their philosophy, Iggy, is pathetic. It's pathetic.
It is pathetic. And what is their philosophy? If you're not 30 years old, you don't fit.
Right. If you're not injury prone, we don't want you.
Yeah. If you don't have 4 years of experience with Kyle Shanahan or one of his disciples, we don't want you.